Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Shaquille O'Neal throws shade at Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert over contract extension and lack of offense. After the legendary center with a history of dissing modern players took a pair of shots, the Frenchman noted their differing philosophies. I will always be happy for a brother beating the odds. It was inevitable that Rudy Gobert's 5-year, $205 million contract extension would make him a target of critics, opening that the Utah Jazz grossly overpaid him because he's not a superstar scorer. It took some time for one of the most predictable detractors to weigh in, but Shaquille O'Neal has finally registered his displeasure. The NBA Hall of Famer turned TNT commentator took an aim at the Frenchman both on a podcast and in an Instagram post over the weekend, eventually prompting a pair of responses from Gobert. O'Neal, who has a long history of denigrating modern NBA players and centers in particular in his role as an analyst, made a recent appearance on the All Things Covered podcast with Arizona Cardinals cornerback Patrick Peterson and former NFL cornerback Brian McFadden. When asked what he thought of big man play in the league right now, and it's at the 58-minute mark and 58-minute 29-second mark, O'Neal was initially dismissive in general before turning his ire specifically to Gobert. I'm looking at the BS contract that your boy from Utah just got, O'Neal said in reference to Gobert. I'm not going to hate, but this should be an inspiration to all the little kids out there. You average 11 points in the NBA, you can get $200 million. Gobert has career averages of 11.7 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks per game, and is a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. So far in 2020-21, he is putting up 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 blocks. When McFadden noted that while Gobert has never registered big scoring numbers, he is highly regarded for his rebounding and defense, O'Neal replied, "Stop it, oh stop it." When a by then laughing, McFadden responded, "I'm just trying to look for a silver lining." O'Neal countered, "The silver lining is he has a great agent." That wasn't the end of it either. O'Neal followed with the Instagram post, including a Photoshop image of him from his playing days with the Lakers dunking over Gobert. O'Neal message in the post read, "I would have had 45 points, 16 rebounds, 10 missed free throws in 3 quarters. He would have had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and fouled out in 3 quarters. I'm a G." Gobert responded to the post with 4 laughing, crying emojis, followed by the comment, "I guess we'll never know." When the Twitter account at SLC Dunk included a screenshot of the exchange with the comment, "The most random beef ever," Gobert quote tweeted it with a taking the high road message, noting the apparent antagonism was one-sided. "There is no beef. If people want to keep speaking negatively about me or keep discrediting what I do, it's on them, and all that does is show who they are," Gobert wrote. "I will always be happy for a brother beating the odds, and I'm going to keep beating the odds." His decision not to take it personally seems a smart one given O'Neal's years-long habit of lobbing petty and not particularly insightful criticism at any center who becomes the subject of any modicum of praise, apparently believing it denigrates his legacy as the self-proclaimed most dominant big man ever. O'Neal has had a long-running feud with current 76ers center Dwight Howard, dating all the way back to the 2008 Slam Dunk Contest when Howard donned a Superman-themed outfit, which led O'Neal to accuse him of stealing his persona. O'Neal has hardly missed an opportunity since to take swipes at Howard, among others. The 50-time All-Star laughably couched his personal attacks as constructive criticism. A lot of people think it's hate. I tell young fellas all the time, if I'm saying something, what you need to do is look at what I'm saying. Really, I'm just trying to help you. I know what I'm talking about, O'Neal said. I go overboard now and then, but I don't go overboard in a hateful way. I go overboard in an informational way. A lot of people think I was jumping on Dwight Howard. No, man, I'm telling you how to be a great big man. When Howard took to Instagram in October to celebrate his long sought NBA championship with the Lakers, O'Neal informational and helpful suggestion on how to be a great big man consisted of telling Howard, post one pick and sit your ass down, shut your ass up, you ain't do nothing. Furthermore, his insight frequently emanates through the prism of self aggrandizement and features not all that much information to begin with asks on all things covered, which models bigs he respects most. O'Neal asserted that the current trend of big men shooting threes is a direct byproduct of not wanting to have to battle him in the post. When I was playing, big guys didn't want to come in there. They didn't want that LSU funk, so everybody starts popping out shooting jumpers. The big guys that you see now, that's all they do. Pressed to give some names, he eventually settled upon the guy from Denver, apparently unable to come up with Nikola Jokic and DeMarcus Cousins. Furthermore, the more O'Neal went on, the more it appeared that the root of his criticism toward Gobert is really dismay at the NBA's modern finances and his anger at having played before the salary cap expanded to the point that superstars could earn in the neighborhood of $40 million annually. O'Neal mentioned that his original sports love was football, but that he changed when his stepfather showed him an article about a backup center, John Konchak, receiving an unprecedented 6-year, $13 million contract from the Hawks in 1989. He also spoke of how Gobert's contract proved a teaching moment between him and his son Sharif, a 6'10", 225-pound power forward who was a backup at UCLA before transferring to LSU this past season. I told my son the other day, bro, you messing around. Rudy just got $200 million and he's not even a scorer like you, O'Neal said. You and him the same size, you can play defense like that and you can stroke it. So I told him, if he's getting $200 million, you need to step your game up so you can get $600 million. Now, oh God. I just say, oh God, because it's like, dog, was Rudy Gobert overpaid? Yes, he was overpaid. But Rudy Gobert is to me, he's great at what he does. He's a great center. He's an old school center who plays defense, who rebounds, who rim protects. He's a great rim protector, and because of his rim protection, it helps the Jazz in a lot of games because it keeps guys from getting to the middle. Now, well, I wouldn't say great. He's good, but I mean, Shaq, look, I've told y'all this about Shaquille O'Neal, and all y'all want to get mad. Him and LeBron are the same guys. They love attention. They love being buffoons for the attention. These guys will coon for the attention. They'll do whatever it takes as long as they're in the headlines and people are looking at them and talking about them. They'll be cool about it. Shaquille O'Neal is upset because he knows in his heart he didn't play nobody in his prime. Nobody talks about him as the great. The only people who talk about him is media delusional people like Skip and the rest of these delusionists who feel Shaq was not great. He was good, but he wasn't great. Shaq couldn't play defense real well. He wasn't that good defensively. Gobert to me is a better on-ball defender than Shaq ever was. Rebounding, Gobert is a way better rebounder than you were. But I really can't compare because Gobert's playing in a league where everybody's outside at the three-point line. So I can't really compare. But Shaq, you were offensive. You weren't really great defensively because you used to get killed on the high pick and rolls and the high screens where they would come at you and they would stretch you out and then they would run a cutter to the basket all the time because your feet were too slow. Phil Jackson would bench you sometimes because defensively you were a liability. And you were. It's no disrespect, but dog, you I just think that people are brainwashed to believe certain guys are great and like LeBron today, everybody think he's great and he's not. When you can stack your team with some of the best talent out there and be a GM, you don't have to do nothing. So of course you'll look good. Shaq, you played on a team where you had Penny Hardaway. I keep telling this story because people have to hear it. For your size, you were a great talent. You and LeBron James, for your size, you guys are great talents. I give you that. Especially you. You're a great talent. Rudy Gobert got paid over much. I believe he did. But I like Rudy Gobert. Gobert is fine for what he does. He's a specialist. Dikembe Mutombo wasn't a real strong offensive guy. He could post up and he could get a hook shot, or he could pivot and get to the lane and try to get a dunk and stuff. He wasn't real strong offensively, but defensively wise, he was great. The man was everywhere. He was blocking shots. He was keeping guys out the paint. The guy was tough. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, dog, you're getting mad. You don't like none of these centers because they don't talk to you because everybody knows, Shaq, you didn't have no game. You're mad because nobody's bowing to you and stuff. You hating on all of this, and then he's saying, "Oh, it's criticism." It's Shaq, criticism for what? I could criticize you. What gives you the right to speak? Charles can speak because Charles was actually a great player. He had moves, and he was like undersized, like 6'4", and he was a better rebounder than you. He was a better rebounder than you. He was a better shooter, scorer, passer. Defensively, he wasn't that strong at defense. But, he was 6'4". So he could guard who he can guard. But he wasn't a lockdown guy. But, look, Rudy Gobert got paid, man. Just move on from it. But the thing is, you criticize him, but you don't criticize LeBron. He's out here who's padding his stats and doing all this stuff. You quick to defend him. You quick to jump and say, "Hey man, it's okay. He's trying his best, to do this and do that." It's like, dog, just shut up. And then you've turned into a buffoon on TNT. Like, your criticism of players, you criticize certain players, but you're not going to criticize the other players. You'll jump down Kyrie's throat. You'll jump down KD's throat. You'll jump down them and saying, "Oh, they're sensitive." Yeah, you know why they're sensitive? Because you guys made them sensitive. You and the NBA and the reporters have made these guys sensitive by bashing them for making a career choice. You criticizing Dwight Howard. Come on, give it a rest. Dwight Howard, we already know what he is. He likes transgenders. So that's what he likes, allegedly. That's what he loves. And his butt hurts from, that type of relationship, allegedly. But we know what he is. But dog, if it wasn't for Dwight banging down low and getting all those fouls and knocking people around, but it's funny to me, this year he's getting even more texts and more fouls. But on the Lakers, they allowed him to get away with everything. But hey, it is what it is. But your problem is, Shaq, you're bitter because you feel like in your heart of hearts that these guys, you feel the game is weak, and the game is like this is because the NBA made it this way. If you have a problem with how these big men play, Talk to the league. Tim Duncan said it best in an interview. They took away the post play, but they're giving all the fouls to the perimeter players. Who plays on the perimeter mostly, Shaq? European players. So I'm trying to tell you the game is different now. The game is terrible, it's trash, I agree. But you got to understand, Shaq, that day is gone. The center who's in the post posting up, they're gone. There's no more centers. Everybody is a two guard. Everybody's a two guard. And then you got some guys are specialists. And then you got guys who swear they're alphas, but they're not. They're betas. So it's like that's the way the league is now. But you going off on Rudy Gobert, man, is dumb. Like, why would you go and diss him and single him out? There's been a lot of bad contracts. Mozgov was a bad contract. Rudy Gobert is getting paid for what he does best, which is play defense and rim protect, which he's done a great job of doing that. I can't take that from him. To me, he was a rebounder. But I can't tell because it's not a lot of centers he's going against. It's the same as you. You played in the era without no real big centers down low. You did. And you barely could even get 10, 12 rebounds a night. You barely got that a night, Shaq. Talking about, I would have 45. Yeah, you would have 45 because the refs would have swallowed the whistle. See, when you were in Orlando, they used to ref you correctly. So you had to learn how to do extra things. And that's why I miss when he was in Orlando, because I feel if Shaq would have stayed in Orlando, his game would have gotten a lot better. But the problem with you, Shaq, is you like to party. You like to have fun all the time. You didn't take it seriously. Now, you took it seriously when it was time to get the business and time to score and time to win the game. I give you that. But majority, dog, you didn't take basketball serious like that. That's why everybody puts Kobe over you. That's why nobody looks at you at them first 3 championships. Everybody look at Kobe. Because everybody realized, even in that interview, you and him sat down, everybody realized Kobe was the guy. He was the dog. Kobe had that, look, man, we need to play, this is serious. That's the attitude he had. And that's the difference between you and him. You know, you and Wilt Chamberlain sort of had a similar type of personality, fun-loving, chilling, like to have fun. Bill Russell was more like Akeem Olajuwon. They had that mentality, man. Look, I'm finna kill, kill, kill. I'm gonna do what it takes. Bill Russell was, to me, a specialist. But you know what Bill Russell did? Bill Russell won 11 championships in 13 tries. He won 11 championships out of 13 tries. And that's amazing. And not only was he a defensive guy, he could pass out the post. Gobert, the thing that offensively, he doesn't have to put up that many points because you know why, Shaq? The offense doesn't run around him. It runs around Mitchell. It runs around Bogdanovich and Conley. Rudy Gobert is going to be a guy you throw it to, he gets it, and then he either lays it up or he hook shots it. So that's what he does. You couldn't even get this many rebounds. Even when you were uncontested, you barely got these rebounds, Shaq. So why is you hating on this man? We know Rudy didn't deserve, we knew he was overpaid, but hey, what can you do? This is the way the NBA works. When you were getting paid, you were overpaid. I kept telling people, man, Shaq overpaid, and people thought I was crazy. Shaq was overpaid. You were overpaid tremendously. Now, you had the personality. You sold the stuff because you had a personality. That's why people gravitated towards you. But as far as on the game, dog, your game was a D. Your game was a D. They bend the rules for you to get away with pushing and knocking guys over. Now, Rudy Gobert taking the high road, and I'm glad he did because that's He's a young guy. And Rudy Gobert knows. It's like, dog, like, look, you don't like me, whatever. I'm focused on this. And that's what Rudy Gobert needed to do. I still think he's a punk after he cried in the car talking about I should have been on the All-Star team. He crying and everything. It's like, dog, stop it. But I understand his situation is his family is poor, and he's trying to make as much money as he can so he can send it to them. And with that messing him up, but Gobert, nobody likes you because of what you did. You gonna play around and tap the mic and tap everything, and you got Donovan Mitchell and all them tested, got all of them positive COVID tests. You basically were one of the ones to shut the season down with your dumb antics. Now you're a specialist as far as what you do. You're good at. You're good at the defensive end, and you're good at blocking and rim protecting and things like that. But dog, let's be real. Today's centers, to me, they're not centers. They're two guards. To me, the only true center to me is really man, I can't even think of none. I don't even think it's any true centers. That kid Justin Wiseman is going to be a true. He look like a throwback center for the Warriors. That's a throwback center. Play in the post and everything. DeMarcus Cousins a center. He's just a stretch center and he could play down low. It's just that he got hurt. But to me, DeMarcus was the best center out of everybody when he was healthy. So let me know in the comment section, man. Do you think Shaq was hating or do you think he was criticizing? I think Shaq was just being Shaq and finding a way to stay relevant and just complain about something. Look, man, Shaq was not good to me. Shaq's not a top 50 player to me. I'm sorry. Him and LeBron aren't top 50 players. If y'all want to say I'm hating, oh well, I really don't give two F's because I watch these guys all the time. I see their games and it's just terrible. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like to donate to the page, you can cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. Thank you for listening, and we're out. Deezy.